And the battle for control of Afghanistan's Panjshir Valley is showing no sign of easing, with Taliban and resistance fighters both claiming they have the upper hand. The region, walled off by mountains north of Kabul, is the last to hold out against Taliban rule. There are reports of more fierce fighting between the National Resistance Front, made up of militias and former Afghan security force members, and Taliban forces. Both sides claim they've inflicted heavy losses on each other. A top US general has warned the conflict could lead to civil war.
They had taken to the streets for the second consecutive day, calling for the Taliban to respect women's rights. Until militants from the Islamist group swiftly broke up the protest.
طالبان با دنده برقی خانم‌ها را برق می‌دادن، گاز اشک‌آور زدن، با آهن‌های جای مرمی تفنگ است و خانم‌ها به فرقشان زدن، خانم‌ها را.
Despite the protest's abrupt end, the demonstrators stay determined. The Taliban's assurances have done little to quell their fears. Millions of Afghan women still worry about their fate.
At least 12 police officers have been killed in an attack near the northern city of Kirkuk. Suspected ISIL fighters targeted a vehicle checkpoint.
Well, Suhail, two separate attacks, one in south of Kirkuk, the other in Makhmur, south of Mosul. The first attack that happened overnight, it was a twin attack by ISIL militants who first engaged in military confrontations with the checkpoint individuals, those belonging to the federal police, the Iraqi federal police. And then they killed 3 of the federal police individuals in the first attack that happened overnight. And then they set up a kind of an ambush. When the backup came from the federal police to that checkpoint in the Rashada area, south of Kirkuk, then they exploded 2 explosive devices and killed the rest.
A suicide bomb blast has rocked the region. Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, also known as TTP, has claimed responsibility for the suicide attack. At least 4 people are believed to have been killed as a result of the attack, and 15 have been injured. But the TTP claims that it has killed over 25. According to Deputy Inspector General of Quetta Police, the explosion was reported in Quetta's Mustang district. As per the initial reports, the Frontier Corps, which is Pakistan's security force, was the target of the blast. The number of casualties could go up. The Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan has its operational base in Afghanistan, according to what has been maintained by Pak officials multiple times.
Scattering roads with rocks and building walls of tyres, Montenegrin protesters block access to the old capital Cetinje, trying to stop the Serbian Orthodox Church holding an enthronement ceremony there for its new top cleric. Confronting riot police, demonstrators chanted, "This is not Serbia," and "Long live Montenegro." Sunday's inauguration has exacerbated ethnic tensions in the Balkan nation, as many consider the church a symbol of Serbian influence. Counter-protests were also held on Saturday to greet religious dignitaries in Podgorica. Montenegro declared independence from Serbia in 2006, but its church didn't get autonomy.
There is heavy gunfire, troops deployed in the Intensifies, which is a district in downtown Conakry where the presidential palace is. It's believed that the president, Alpha Condé, early this morning went out towards Hotel Kalam, where he was suspectedly ambushed by people who started shooting at him. We know now that he is inside that hotel, that he is safe and well, but there continues to be a gun battle in that district. Eyewitnesses say they've seen wounded being taken to the Donka hospital.
The U.S. Navy has shifted the rescue effort to find 5 sailors who had been missing since a helicopter crash last Tuesday to a recovery mission. Their helicopter crashed on the flight deck of the USS Abraham Lincoln and then fell into the ocean. 1 crew member was rescued from the water and 5 other sailors on the flight deck were hurt. An investigation into what caused the crash is still underway. The Navy is not yet releasing the names of the dead sailors.
It was supposed to be a critical lifeline. An emergency doctor lowered onto a rugged beach. Down below, a tarpaulin hides a makeshift ICU.
It's quite a sombre scene.
An hour in, the work of a specialist team and round after round of CPR doesn't help. Injuries so severe, it brought seasoned professionals to tears.
Male in his approximate late 20s sustained significant injuries to his upper body, which has resulted in major blood. I can't even say that.
The surfer wasn't alone in the water when what is believed to have been a great white shark took hold shortly after 10:30 this morning, latching onto an arm, then his shoulder. This is the 6th unprovoked shark attack in New South Wales this year, and the 2nd death.